Yo guys, what's up? It's Blackheart here and welcome to a new video. Nice to have you all here today as always, and hope you like this video, this kind of video. Today there will be no guide. I promise you that that will come very soon. But today I'll do something different than usual. I'll do some quick Tekken discussion in which you can join in the comments if you want. We'll talk together and we'll try to exchange opinions on the matter. And we also want to talk about something that I really feel like. Of course, as probably a lot of you know already, I play a lot of ranked and I play a lot of games daily on my Twitch account. If you want to follow, twitch.tv/blackheart59 here in the description. And something I always wonder is about, you know, the characters I always match in ranked. As you can see probably from most of my streams, the characters I usually match with are not very, there's not a lot of variety. Like for example, today in my last stream I met like 5 Dragunovs or even more, or like a lot of Jins, a lot of Xiaoyus, but you never see, for example, characters like, I don't know, Leroy or other, or I don't know, Raven or Zafina. So this really keeps me wondering: are Tekken players carried? Are Tekken players actually? A lot of people say this, but are Tekken players actually carried by the game and by some characters? That is a very good discussion we can talk about, because of course it is very straightforward. There will be no cuts, I think, in my reasoning. There will be no filters in what I think. I think yes, I think that a lot of people in this game are carried by their character, but it's not always something bad, you know. The only thing is that a lot of players should recognize this, because there's a lot of self-pretentious douchebags who think they are the best, maybe while playing some of the worst and most broken characters in the game. Everybody can play whatever they want, you know. It's not a big deal. It's not like you have to play. You have to purposefully play only the weirdest and stupidest and weakest characters in the game. It's not something you have to do. But players should start recognizing that maybe sometimes it's better to take a step backwards and understand that maybe sometimes it's not only, for example, matchup knowledge, or it's not only like exploiting some character's weaknesses that makes the other guy win. That it's something that I really think. It's something that I really defend. For example, you know, I don't know if you remember the famous discussion about Xiaoyu that Ni started some months ago, and there were actually a lot of people in the comments. I'll link them in the description, or maybe I'll let you see in my video if I find them, that actually were saying, no, Ni, you are wrong, you should just study the matchup, you know, because Ni was like crying about Xiaoyu's AOP and Xiaoyu's mid evasion in general, and there were a lot of people in the comments saying, no, Ni, you're wrong, you should just study the matchup. But is it really that way? Is it really something that only that makes you win against certain characters? Like for example, pick Dragunov, okay guys? Try for a moment to try and pick Dragunov, okay? So yes, some of the best engagers in the game, some of the best plus frames in the game. Like for example, QCF4 is so stupidly broken. Some of the best mix-up pressure in full crouch. Some of the best lows. Some of the one of the best combo in the games. One of the best combos in the game. Like, is a character like this really exploitable? Is a character like this really something that you just lab and you win? I don't think so. So when you start playing Tekken, especially, try and understanding that I think in this game at least it's not always your fault if you lose. Like, of course, it's whoever wins is always right, okay? But you have to understand that in this game, in my opinion, of course, I'm a nobody, and I could be wrong on that. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. Maybe in this game it's not only anymore a game of chess, a game of understanding what the other player says, but sometimes there's also a chess and a randomization of things, you know, like things in this game are much more random than they were in previous games. So sometimes it can happen, and even if you get the right guess, even if you get the right choice, you don't get rewarded, even if you get something right. For example, let's take an example. For example, if you are against Dragunov and your step is hit smash, like you read that your opponent with Dragunov is doing one of the best hit smashes in the game. You try to step, and you guess right, so you actually step the move. For example, usually Dragunov goes so fucking far away from you, like so far away from you, that basically he gets unpunished most of the time. What you have to do if you step the move is that you have to catch up with him, that is going to space and more, so run towards him and then punish. But it's very hard to do because the last hit makes him go so far away. It's unbelievably stupid, and most of the times you just lose your punish attempt. So this is just one example of the many thousands of examples I could make. Like for example, against Xiaoyu, you study the matchup so much, you study every interaction, you study every move that doesn't get crushed by AOP, but sometimes in match you still get crushed by AOP. Sometimes you still get some of your moves mid-crushed by AOP. Like for example, I labbed with Lydia this stuff against Xiaoyu, you know, I labbed that with Lydia I should do down 4-3 against Xiaoyu's AOP, but still in some matches I got that crushed. So this game is much more random, and honestly it's not always your fault if you lose in this game. It's not always your fault. Of course, in most cases it is, like in most cases you lose because of your bad decisions, but other times, especially against some characters, you just are in a disadvantage. Like for example, look at Lydia against Yoshimitsu. I think it's probably one of the worst matchups in the game. Like even if you really play well, it's still difficult because it's still against Yoshimitsu. And in this game, is particularly strong. He has flash, he has spin. With Lydia, that is very linear. How are you supposed to win against this character? So some players are carried by their character. Absolutely yes, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like there's nothing wrong with it. I think like. Every character has its weakness, has its strength, but there are objectively bad design characters right now in the game. There are objectively some characters in the game that make you say, oh my god, it's so fucking broken. Because it is. Dragunov, Yoshimitsu, King, Alisa, so on. Characters that have no apparent weakness right now. So what I want you to do, like when you approach Tekken and when you start playing the game in a more serious note, is start understanding that you don't have to get mad when you lose, because, and that's something I also have to understand, by the way, a lot, because there's no point. There's no point because first of all you don't improve, and second of all because the game is like this. The game is random. The game carries some people more than others. Like for example, if you play the same game with Steve or Leroy or Deviljin, or you play it with Alisa or I don't know, again Dragunov, King, and so on, you are at an advantage, because some guys that just play this game too much. They play too much Tekken 8, and some cars don't. Like for example, again, Deviljin, Leroy are lackluster in some areas. So what should we do in order to fix this situation? This is a direct, in my little world, my direct message to Namco. Please, don't stop with the patches. Your game is a very good game right now. It has a huge potential. It is very fun to play. It is very, very nice to play. Like I have a lot of fun playing the game on stream and so on, but please try and understand that some players really are frustrated right now with the game. The game is dropping on Steam a little bit with sales and with player base. So this game could be the best Tekken ever. Just don't abandon us. Don't think that you did a good job still, because there's still so much to do. So much to do. Like, you did one patch, some patches, and then you said, okay, we are not gonna do patches anymore. Are you crazy? With the current state of Dragunov, with the current state of some other cards, like with the current state of Alisa, of King, that you didn't fix at all. The characters are still so fucking strong, and what do? You say, no, okay, it's fine. The patches are fine. This is all good. See ya next year, maybe before patches. Are you seeing how much prevalent is the presence of some characters instead of others on tournaments? Like, do you see how much Dragunov there is in tournaments? You see how much that this character carries people in tournaments. I'm not saying that tournament players are carried by Dragunov only, because of course Atif wins also because he's a super strong player, for example. But you see how much Dragunov is, that everybody just picks him as a pocket character in tournaments. Like, in one of the last tournaments there were 3 Dragunovs in top 4. Three Dragunovs, not 1, 3. So again, that's I think that you really need to understand Namco. Again, that you really need to understand the game's desires to be a good game, and you don't achieve that by saying that the game is good and there's nothing more you can do. There's a lot you can do. You can nerf the characters that really, and no, you don't need to buff the weaker ones, because that's what they try to do. They tried buffing the weaker ones, but is that really the answer? The answer is buffing and buffing and buffing constantly the weaker ones, while the broken ones stay broken. That is not good balancing. The good balancing is toning down the real strong and OP ones and leaving the rest as it is, because the rest of the characters are fine. Most of the rest of the characters, it's just that top 10, top 15 characters that really are too much. If they fix that, if they really try to fix those characters, the game will be perfect right now. So, in conclusion of this, are Tekken 8 players carried a bit by their character? Absolutely yes. I think most players won't win without Dragunov in ranked, honestly, because I see how they play. They have very little frame knowledge, they have very little space control, they mostly spam only the broken stuff of Dragunov and other cards, because there's nothing you can do against that. Against Dragunov QCF4, there's nothing you can do. Some say, okay, you can step, but it's hard, it tracks, it is amazingly good tool. It's +7 on block, and there's mix up on block. It's too much, because okay, now it pushes back, but so what? If you block it up close, you still have to eat a mix up. So this was my little Tekken discussion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, as you see, it's a very straightforward one. I'm not gonna waste too much time on this. Guys, tell me again what you think about this, and if you agree with me. We'll see each other very soon, because don't keep in mind that a new guide will come out about our dear boy Kazuya Mishima. So of course keep it up with the channel, with the stuff I'm doing, and if you like my content, please subscribe if you want, turn up notifications, and remember that I also stream on Twitch, link in description. So thank you so much everybody for the follows, thank you so much everybody for the comments, if you like to make one, and see us very soon. Bye.